Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of the Panta Podcast. My name is Apia Mera and I'm your host for today's episode. As of the time of recording this podcast, I have mastery over 10 digital skills. Talk of graphic design, video editing, animation, web development, UI UX design, photography, videography, MCR, and a whole lot more. And the fun fact is that I never went to any school for any of these courses. I never attended any training institution or any school to learn these digital skills that I know. All that I know is self-taught. I taught myself everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. My own efforts. And this is how I got to know so many digital skills in such a matter of time. Now, to really tell this story well, I'd like us to dive together into my own childhood, my personal life story, so that you understand why certain things are the way they are. When I was a child, I was a very, very weak person. I was literally sick all the time. Every 2 days, I am sick. So I'm a weak person, I'm a sick person, and this is how I changed my story from being a sick, weak, feeble boy to becoming the tech enthusiast you know today. Fast forward, in those days, I don't go out to play. I'm always indoors. I am always alone on my own, and that brought the introvertic, I don't know if that is a word, introvertic part of me, because when my friends are playing outside, riding bicycle, playing football, climbing trees, running around, I personally do not have that energy to be engaging in those activities. I mean, I'm sick, so I am always indoors. So what I do is I go to school, come back from school, I'm at the house. If I'm going out, then I'm on an errand. They've sent me to go and buy something, or I'm going to do something else. But I wasn't the type that was mingling with my colleagues because of my condition. I don't know, it happened naturally. So sometimes my parents want me to go out and they will intentionally sack me for me to go out and join my colleagues. But that is how things happened naturally. So naturally, due to my condition, I was forced to become an introvert because of my condition, because I was sick and I wasn't even having the energy to be engaging in all those activities. I was forced to stay home, stay inside. And the thing is, me staying alone, me staying at home, I have to find ways of entertaining myself, because obviously I cannot go and play. You get it? I don't even have the strength and the energy to be running around chasing lizards and all those things. So I have to find a way of making myself happy in my own small way. So me being inside all day, I had to find something to do that would make me happy. So this was where I developed interest into fidgeting stuff. So at that time, keypads, phone, deck that you need to insert the cassette into before you watch a movie or listen to music. I just was fidgeting those things for fun. So I remembered at that very young age, I knew how to operate the TV and the deck, how to change movies. I knew every button on the remote of the deck we were using. And at that time, we were using keypads. And trust me, the keypads, I had fidgeted to every corner of the keypad to the point that I know everything. Now, this is me in my childhood that, let's say, in one of my random days, I'll take my mother's phone, and in fidgeting it, I change the language to Chinese. My mother comes home around 3 p.m. It's 2 p.m. If she comes to meet me with her phone changed to Chinese language, like I'm dead, she'll definitely kill me. So that means I have 1 hour to reverse what I did and change the language back to English, because if I don't do it, they'll beat me. So I had to learn those things, how to change, let's say, the language. So from that point, I know that, okay, so if you want to change the language, you go to this part, you go to this part. And that is how, at that young age, I was able to learn every function of the keyboard, the remote, and all other stuff. One very Monday afternoon, I think, I returned from school and there was good news. My father had brought a brand new multi-TV, like very brand new. At that time, multi-TV was very, very new in the system, and they had brought us a very new multi-TV. I mean, it was on for kids already when I came. I already knew some functions of the remote. I mean, because I had been fidgeting with other remotes, so I knew some basics around it. So I was very, very happy. Not because we have a new television set or a new decoder, but because this is also another opportunity for me to challenge myself and learn so much more. So when they are away, I'll just take the remote, go to the settings, go to the menu, click on every tab or every button to see what it does. So you press on something, the thing totally mutes, there is no sound. You press it again and you'd press on another thing and then it unmutes, in that fashion. So that also taught me how to use the multi-TV remotes. And when they are out, I need to go into the menu, every little setting, and to see what it does. So at that particular point in time when multi-TV was new in the system, I knew how to scan for channels, how to delete channels, how to add passwords, and a whole lot of other functions on the multi-TV. So at that time, I remember very clearly that they'd call me into other people's rooms and other people's houses just to go and set multi-TV, search for new channels for them, and a whole lot more. So that was how I got interested in technology, by fidgeting things. Now fast forward into, let's say, class 4, 5, let's say class 6, I had my own keypad phone, and even with that phone, my mother seized it and then used a stone to crash the phone into pieces, because I wasn't paying attention to everything. If you send me a journey that is supposed to take 2 minutes, would take me 15 minutes, because I'm always on my phone, I'm looking on the phone, I'm fidgeting the phone, and you call me and I can't even hear because I'm so focused in the phone. So my mother had to collect the phone and then use a stone to crash it into pieces. So I wasn't using any phone at that time, but then because of my, let me say, technical know-how, I was still using phones, other people's phones, because they would bring it to me to change some settings for them, do some things on the phone for them. So I was still having opportunity or access to use the phones. And I remember those days, keypads time, we could download games, songs, music on the keypads through a website called waptrick.com. I remember those days, waptrick.com, wapdam, Safari, and the likes. I mean, if you're an internet OG, you would know what I'm talking about. And during those days, we were just exploring. So I could go to Waptrick, download games, download songs. So that was how I got introduced to the internet ecosystem. So I got to understand the internet little by little, how it operates. And the best point in my life was when I realized that you could actually search for information on the internet, and whatever you are looking for, basically you are going to find on the net. So I knew that whatever problem there is, all I need to do is to go to the internet on my keypads and search for it. At that time, YouTube was also now coming into the system, so you could watch small videos on the keypads those days and the likes. And I had also read about smartphones and how cool they were, how cool smartphones were, how to use them, basic things. So one day I came from school, and where we were living then, our landlady, whose husband was abroad, had brought a brand new phone, like smartphone, fresh in box, and they didn't know how to operate it. My mother told them that they should just exercise patience. When I come, I'm coming to fix it. And my name was so hyped in the house. Some people didn't believe it, because obviously they that are adults and claim they have gone to school couldn't even do it. How much more me, this small boy who hasn't even seen one before? How will I be able to operate it? So as soon as I came from school, entered the compound, the whole place was lit up. I become. Your mother said you can do this, what? And they went to bring the phone that they cannot operate it. How do we operate it? I just took the phone, looked on the screen, and there it was. Swipe to unlock. They didn't know that you could just swipe to unlock. So I just looked at it, and then I swiped, and the thing unlocked, and the phone opened. They were so happy. This guy is good. I was also happy. I was taking in the fans, the cheers, and all that. So people in my house saw me to be, a tech guy at a very young age, because I could operate with all these little gadgets in my very own way. Fast forward to JHS 1. That was when I started getting exposed to computers. But before I get into the JHS 1 story, I want to give a shout out to all the teachers who have taught me till this date, and a very, 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 very special shout out to Mr. Richard Ellis Mauko. Mr. Richard Ellis Mauko, aka Popo Richie. He was our ICT teacher, and he would give me his laptop to use sometimes. So Saturdays I would go to his house. He would show me this is how to create a folder in Word. If you want to do this, press here. You can use Paint application to do this. PowerPoint, this is how you do it, and the likes. And during those days, what they'll teach in class the following week, I had already learned at his house in the weekends. So in class, I'm always the one on top in ICT, to be specific. So I started developing interest and getting to know more about computers and laptops and a whole lot more with his laptop. And he, particularly Mr. Richard Ellis Mauko, aka Popo Richie, was the one that made me realize my potential. He made me know that there is a very big world on the internet that I can partake in. He literally unearthed the tech potential in me, and I got to realize that there is so much I can do with the internet as a tool. Fast forward, he left school when we were about writing our BC. I got to SHS, same life continued. Even at SHS, people started calling me computer boy, because obviously I always liked going to the ICT lab. That was my favorite place. So as soon as there's a free period, I'm going to the ICT lab. I'm just going to be there to, just fidget the computers there and know how to operate it. Same thing, I was also helping people in their settings and other things at the dormitory and other stuff. I got my own phone. That was an Itel phone my father had used, and they brought him a new one from abroad, so he had to hand over to me. So SHS2, I got my own phone and started using it. SHS3, before my first paper, that phone got missing. My father bought me a new one, and the story continues till today. Now, after SHS, I decided to learn these skills, graphic design, and the whole set of skills that I wanted to learn. Graphic design was the first. And me knowing that whatever I want to learn, I can go on YouTube, search, watch tutorials, and understand, was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I'll just take my phone, go to YouTube, search tutorials, watch, and practice. But even before then, I was downloading some graphic design apps from the Play Store that will give you templates. You just need to tap on it, put in your own details, and you have a flyer. And so that was what I was doing those times. Also, I knew that whatever I wanted to do, if I go to the Play Store and search for it, I'll get an app for it. And if I don't know how to do it, if I search on YouTube, I'll be able to learn how to do it. So that was how I started doing graphic design. Did graphic design, started mastering it way into university level 100. I was still doing graphic design. Then I realized that I wanted to teach people, wanted to educate people on tech, wanted to make videos about tech. So I told my mother to buy me a camera, and she bought me a camera. Now the first day the camera came, I took my friends out. Godfred and John, Mr. Bray. We went out to do our own photo shoots. So we went to a location, you press the shutter button, then the picture looks so white, it is overexposed. So you press certain things, you don't even know what you are pressing. Then you shoot another picture and it's so dark. So we're just experimenting. None of us really knew our way around the camera, but then I had the camera. So as soon as I came home, I started researching into how to expose photos correctly, and I knew that okay, this is as a result of overexposure and the exposure, this is how to correct it, and so much more. So that was how I learned photography. Along the way, I decided to also learn how to shoot videos since I had a camera, and the story follows on and on and on and on till every single skill that I know today. My principle is, if I don't know how to do it and there is a passion for it, I would go online and learn how to do it. Naturally, I'm a person that I don't find it difficult in grabbing concepts. So as soon as I go on YouTube, watch a tutorial, 2 or 3 of them, I am done. I know how to do it. I'll come practice it and it's perfect. One other thing that has also put me ahead is the fact that I accept challenges. Now, somebody would DM me and ask, "Oh, Mera, I want to build a website. Do you know how to do it?" Me having no idea and basically zero idea about it would say, "Oh yeah, sure, I know how to do it," and I'll collect the money and spend it. And I know that I've spent the money. I need to deliver, and so I need to go on to YouTube, learn how to do the thing, because if I am not able to do it, I'll have to vomit the money and come, and the money I've spent it. So the only way is to learn how to do it, right? So that was how I started learning other skills, small in church, DLCF, UCC. I remember one time my pastor called me, Pastor Forsen. Shout outs to you wherever you are. He called me and be like, "Abi, next week Sunday we want to do live streaming. Do you know how to do it?" I said yes. I have no idea how to I don't even know the mechanism of how to go live, what makes the video go live and other things. And mind you, this was a Saturday evening, and so I had just one night to prove myself, because I've told them that I can do it, and they are relying on me to come and go Facebook live in the next morning. So that night, trust me, I didn't sleep. I literally spent the whole night on YouTube learning videos, watching videos, tutorials, till around 3-4 a.m. I was able to do something and realized that yes, I was able to do it. That day I didn't even sleep. I just waited 7 a.m. I went to church and delivered. So that was also how I added MCR and live streaming to my skill set. So I'm a person that likes challenges. Right now, if you tell me, come into my DM, "Do you know how to do this? I'm looking for somebody who knows how to do this," I never say no. I'll just say yes, and I'll learn how to do it. And once I learn how to do it, it is part of the number of things I know. It is part of the number of skills that I know. It is with me forever and ever. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my story of how I got to learn so many digital skills till date. And you can do it too, with the power of the internet, YouTube, and the vast resources of the internet we have now. There is nothing that is impossible for you to learn. You can also do it. Start small. Just pick one skill, learn how to do it, and you'll be good to go. You in about 2-3 years time, you would have marveled. You would have learned more than 5 digital skills, which will start fetching you money. There are some of us who won't like that approach, because they will go and watch the tutorials and they don't even understand. They can't replicate. What I'll suggest is that you go into one-on-one mentorship. Actually look for somebody who is in the field and let the person mentor you one-on-one on that particular digital skill, which might involve a very small fee paying, but then it is worth it for you to learn. And just give yourself time. For 3 months you are learning graphic design. Just stay consistent and be serious about it, and you would learn it. Once you learn it, it is part of the things you know. Move on to the next task, and on and on and on. Right now I'm learning 3D design and sculpturing and hold on. I'll update you when I'm finally done. I started from zero. I'm learning on my own till. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been my story of how I got to learn so many things. This is the Panta Podcast. My name is Apiamera. This is just episode 2. Trust me, there are more stories coming your way with other episodes which have guests which who will come and speak and share their knowledge as well. So follow us on Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube, also like this video, let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe and put us on post notification, and whenever we post new content, you'd be notified. Till we meet again next week, I'll see you. Bye bye.